Welcome back to tonight's Sad Reality. The most inconsistent channel on YouTube, once every 2 days, I suppose. But honestly, I've been a little bit more happy with the videos recently because I feel like the relative quality has been better despite that. Like, I have more to talk about, more to fill up the time, and it's not just kind of a waste. So I'd kind of rather it be that way too, but daily uploads, maybe that'll happen eventually. Every YouTuber trying to do daily uploads and then failing miserably. Do you want to make yourself
Also,
known,
I'm here.
lurker? Yeah, I was
Also,
about to
I'm
say
here. Yeah.
she's here today.
TQ has locked me in his basement. Help.
Yeah,
Send help.
but so 2 days ago, I've got a bit of a story here, and it'll all make sense in a minute. That's also why I'm playing a game that doesn't take that many brain cells, so I can just sit here and just click button, watch number go up. Super easy,
You
super
can
brain dead. How I like it. Because I
you
really
can
can't.
play this game for weeks.
I think it's been literally 3 days, but yeah, let's say it's been a week. Um,
It feels like a week, to be honest.
Yeah, the span of the internet, it's like, oh my gosh, dude, you posted that 2 days ago? You might have well posted last year. Uh,
Yeah.
but so, 2 days ago, we had one of the biggest events I have ever had in my entire career, and that was corporate people coming in. Now, last time this happened, it was supposed to be, like, a bigger thing, or at least according to our store manager, he thought it was, but that was the fake one. That was, like, the calm before the storm. This one was real. And I think I've talked about this briefly. I'm not sure how much I talked about, and this annoys me because I have no recollection of the things I've already said to certain people or whatever. What I talk about on this channel, any of that short-term memory loss gang, Smash like. Um, but so our store manager was there repainting the break room at 3 in the morning, uh, over the weekend or whatever, doing all sorts of crazy preparation things, including like there was a day where he basically sat down with me and he's like, okay, if they ask you this question, this is how you respond. If they ask you this is how you respond. If they do, and I was like, okay, that's kind of crazy. I kind of respect the grind as well for, I guess, putting that much thought into it. And I'm not gonna say it's not that serious because I think for him it really is that serious. But I also feel like honesty goes a long way, so that's nice. It's not like he wasn't being dishonest. It's just a lot of things he was being overly preparing for, like telling me that I had done career development planning, which I hadn't done. Basically, he's like, "You've done this," and I'm like, "Okay, sure. I guess I have for this story we're going with here." Um, all of that to say, I could tell he was stressed out because he was going through all of this with everyone in the store, which by proxy kind of stressed everyone else out. And I could definitely tell that were the case because the day we got there, everyone kind of got in. We were all kind of chilling together in the store. People were sweating a little bit, but it was not the vibe I expected. So I got there at about 8 in the morning. Usually I show up to the store around 9 since when the store opens. But he was like, he texted everyone, said, hey, get there an hour early. He had a speaker blasting music and like a hockey setup basically on the floor. So we were using hockey sticks on a tile floor, which completely destroyed the tile flooring. Like they were all scuffed up afterwards. But I thought this was hilarious. Uh, and oh boy, so much is going on all at once. So it was not just our team, there was our team plus one or two other people there that weren't typically there. Oh no, we were attacked and plundered by the kingdom. None of our soldiers survived. Wow. That's how much this... We suck. But hey, at least the water's warm outside and we're getting food back so I can get rid of some of the farmers. And put that
Cooping.
into... What? Mining and lumberjacking.
I am Steve, and I yearn for the mines.
Yes. So,
Young children,
beyond
they
the start of
yearn
all
for the
that,
mines.
I was given a piece of paper, or kind of a few pieces of paper, like 5 pieces of paper all stapled together, with just general store metrics and things that we should know about the store, whatever. What generates the most lift, which in other words means, like, here's what the store sells the most of, or like if our goal is to sell 5% more last year, we're not going to be up 5% in every category. In fact, we're down in some categories, but like footwear, we're up 12%. Okay, well, that's fantastic, you know? Maybe it's 14%. It was some odd, or some even number in the teens, or 12, 14, something like that. Yeah, Footwear carries our store. Front end, we just kind of sit there and pretend to do things half the time. Today was one of those days, today being Friday, all this happening on Thursday. And yeah, so it was kind of chill to start off with this. It was not what I was expecting though, because he was super serious. We just had like a hockey rink basically set up on the floor, and you had to weave between cones and take a shot at the very end of the goals. We had a smaller goal for the people in the store because we had a little bit of practice, about an hour's worth of practice actually before corporate showed up, and then corporate had a bigger goal behind that they had to shoot on. And it was fun. I really enjoyed that. I think corporate actually beat us, unironically, which is kind of funny. I wasn't sure. I wasn't keeping score, but that's what everyone else said. Our store's not necessarily the most athletic, but for whatever reason, people that spend all day crunching numbers going between stores are more athletic than actual sports people working at sports stores or something like that. But here's where the story gets kind of weird for me because, I guess, like, all context aside, I usually don't worry about things too much. I'm not usually I'm a pretty sociable guy as far as I do put stuff on YouTube. I talk with people literally all day. In fact, that's my job. I go home and then I go talk with people on the internet again for like the next 8 hours, and then I fall asleep for 6 hours on a good night, and then wake up to go talk another 18 hours of my life away. So talking's not hard for me. But then as soon as corporate gets there, I'm just like, did I mumble when I introduced myself, when I said my name? Did I do this correctly? Did I do that correctly? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm actually worried for once. This like never really happens, I guess. And it was pretty evident because everyone else in the store, they had like corporate people they were assigned to that were supposed to work with them. So like if you run the floor, okay, you're going to become better at selling things to people. You're going to get better at product placement, how you, I guess, more effectively get people or customers what they need so that the store functions, we do better, and everyone's happier. Corporate gets their money, we get our hours go by the same rate they normally do, whatever. But corporate's happy, and we want them to be happy so that our boss isn't unhappy, I guess. Welcome to society, America, jobs. Let's put a bunch of buzzwords in here, like political buzzwords. And,
Woke.
so woke. Woke. I got through the first few customers in the store, and the first thing that happened was I'm usually flawless when it comes to, like, remembering to take sensors off of items. And if I'm not, well, our doors are actually working. They used to, like, not work the sensors on them anyways, so they just wouldn't go off if people left with sensors, which is kind of defeats the entire point of theft, in my opinion. Why am I sharing this? Because it's funny, I guess, and they're working 90% of the time, so I'm not sure it really matters. Anyways, so the doors went off with that, and I was like, oh, crap, it was my fault. I went to go take the sensor off. It was a golf thing. They've got soft tags, so you just put it over this machine, it pops the tag, and then it no longer sets off the doors. So that was cool, and I was like, okay, that happened, whatever. That's like a very newbie mistake. Like, if you're working like your first few months, that'll just happen to you, but if you've been working about a year, hopefully you're better than that. I've got some coworkers who've been working multiple years and they still do that, but they also weren't invited to this event. So I think the expectation for me was higher than that. And I was like, oh gosh, I went like kind of red in the face. This sucked. Whatever. And then not once it happens again. But it's a different item this time. It was so we also sell knives. Some are age restricted, some are not. We need like an ID for it. That's cool and all. But turns out those also have soft tags hidden inside of them. I'd never sold one of those before, so I'd never know about that. And then that sets off the doors, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I feel corporate eyes like staring down my back. Because, oh my gosh, I look incompetent. And prior to all of this, like, I forgot to set this up in context, but my store manager was like, hey, they're here for you. Like for me. Like, he told our entire store this. He's like, you're the man of the hour. You sold 537 credit apps, 539 as of, like, yesterday or whatever, in the store. Like, that's number 3 in the company. That is insane. There were people in corporate, too, that literally went up to me to shake my hand. They're like, we don't know how you do this work, but good job, whatever. You've been doing this, like, less than a year. I'm sure they're happy, too, because their pockets are happy with that. A little bit of money influx. It was kind of weird, too, because I could tell some of the corporate people, they were like, ooh, this guy is all skinny and weird, and he wears a ring on his left hand, even though he's not married. And then a few of them were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm meeting the number 3 person in the company. it was like a complete, you're either one side or the other, one team or the other side. Um, and I don't know if it was that, just the number of corporate people, because I think it was like anywhere between 7 and 10 corporate people. It was like not just a small handful, it was, we were multiplying the number of people in our store by 1.5 as far as staffing goes, I guess. So there was a lot of eyes, and I just had to make the store run. Everyone else was kind of like working with them. I was in charge of making sure everything was going well, and it wasn't, because not just those two things happening. There was a lady who walked in the store, and something in her purse set off the sensors, and I'm like, we're fine, we're fine. It's something in her purse. Don't worry about it. Nobody's stealing or on the way in stealing or whatever. And not to mention that, so sometimes people are just in like really shitty moods sometimes, like customers, and this is one of the reasons I absolutely hate my job. One guy comes in and starts fussing for absolutely no reason. Like, I'm just asking him like why he's returning his item. I'm like, hey, are there any defects, whatever. Not that I'm not gonna deny his return. It's just like oh hey, so I don't sell this to someone else, whatever. And he was like, I just want my money back, don't want any trouble, whatever. He was kind of in like a fighting mood, so I'm not reenacting that very well. But I was like, dear God, why? Why is today of all days the day that customers and everything just seems to go wrong in front of people that I suppose we're supposed to perform well in front of? And I was stressed, I was. And I remember going home that day, and I got on Discord VC for like 2 hours, and then immediately fell asleep for like an hour, hour and a half after that, because I was just tired kind of out of it. But yeah, like all that was kind of bottled up in one thing, and then it goes away. Like it's gone. And I guess kind of in retrospect, I don't know why I stress out about stuff like that, because I don't think that really helped anything. It just made me a little bit more self-conscious of everything that was going on, and then also realizing all the mistakes I'd made. And maybe that's how I always am too. I don't really know if that was just that day or what it was, but I guess I was worried about that, and that doesn't usually happen to me. So I'm like, maybe I'm not Mr. Invincible after all, or whatever. Not impervious to anxiety or whatever that is.
Invincible.
Yeah, some show I've never watched. So that was a lot one breath, kind of. That's why I picked a game like this, because I don't have to really sit here and think. I can just click buttons and things will happen. Because
isn't that like every idle game?
Yeah, and that's why I pick idle games for the games where I'm just like, I need to just sit down and talk about things rather than focus on gameplay, try to do commentary over that. It's like not so silly, it's more, here's word vomit of everything that happened, But then, today's the day after all that. Going to the store, it's like another nothing day. Nothing really happens as far as all that. I handled maybe 40 transactions. I'm on my way home. It was kind of boring and slow. And I was talking to one of my other coworkers, and I was like, man, the contrast between today and yesterday is insane. It is, because there's like a tangible level of worry in my store manager or whatever with all this. But afterwards yesterday, he bought us pizza. He went out, he was like celebrating all this, whatever. And I could tell he was just like so over being worried about all this too. So I'm glad for his sake anyways that he's like, we'll have to worry about that again next year. We'll have to come up with some random game to play, and we'll have to find some way to make it not as scuffed as it was. Like, as another bit of context, the front end the night before was supposed to take sensors off of Hurricanes jerseys so that we could differentiate the teams between corporate and like the store people, because we're all wearing green shirts. So it's kind of hard to tell who the teams are. But the geniuses on the front end forgot to take off the sensors, so some of the stuff that we had hanging up literally just wasn't wearable. There's what's called a coat cable that'll go through the arm of a jersey or anything over $100 and out the bottom of it, which limits your range of motion if you try to stick your hands in it or wear the item. And to be fair, I thought it was hilarious. One of the guys in corporate had a really good sense of humor. He was like, actually, I love this. It's a built-in excuse if I miss my shot. And I don't know, funny guy. I thought it was good. It was light humor or whatever. But everyone was just, that's the best way I can explain it. Just, ah. But then it's over, you know, and then you get to go home, chill out, sleep a little bit. Today I spent the rest of the day literally just listening to music. In fact, my Discord, I've got a Discord where I post every single YouTube video I've ever watched just because I think it's kind of funny, kind of interesting, kind of whatever, something to do with my time. And a lot of it was just Deltarune or Undertale music. So much of it was just Deltarune or Undertale music. But it felt
You
good because
should maybe try listening to other music.
yeah. It felt good though because it had been so long since I had, I guess, gone back to that, whereas typically it had just been whatever else I had been listening to. The new Yonkagore song, Alan
Yucky one.
Walker. Let me pull up Spotify real quick on my phone here so I can go through all the cringe content I listen to. Camellia, Owl City, Knuckles, Siamese, Mr. Fear. Mr. Fear is a good song, big fan of that. Ivy Comb. Some of the Risk of Rain soundtrack, all that. But I just went back on YouTube, like YouTube Music. There's like an algorithm I think that Spotify has that YouTube has, and I swear if you just stop using it for like a few months and then you come back to it, let the algorithm kind of cook a little bit, it just knows. It just has like, it'll just send you stuff that you're just like, oh, this is going to make your neurons tingle. You're gonna love it, and sometimes I'll do that with Spotify where I just won't use it for a little bit, go over to YouTube Music, use YouTube Music for a little bit, go back to Spotify, whatever. Just kind of sitting here jamming out. Even though today was like a slow day, all of that, I guess it's kind of a reminder that we don't really need to worry about stuff like that, and like nothing bad happened. Like I don't know if they'll remember these things, if they'll remember me, what all this is, if it'll all just vanish into obscurity one day. Or maybe this will all come back, haunt us, and I'll be sad because it's the end of the world or something. I don't know. But always, there's an interesting thought. I don't remember who said this. I've always heard, don't fear the man that can hurt you today. Fear the man who can hurt you into eternity or whatever, or like tomorrow or like the next days, whatever, or whatever happens after this life. And I guess that's to say, like, the inverse being true of, like, hey, don't worry about the stuff today, tomorrow, whatever, because there's much worse stuff coming if you know, are a bad person in this life or something like that. That's how religion works, right? That's what we're taught when we're younger. You read, like, the children's Bible. They don't tell you about Samson and all the killing people and murdering hundreds or thousands of people with his hands. So I feel like if you had told a kid that, they would have been so much more interested in religion and like not turned off by stuff. But I don't know. Wyatt, do you have anything you want to add to all this? This was a lot of rambling tonight, but it was a story.
Anyways, we listened to this schizophrenic other on the internet speak about his job. And
Yeah.
that's basically it.
Yeah. So thanks for watching, I suppose. Welcome to this is sad reality. My voice kind of sat about here all night, and I'm gonna go watch Travelers. So it's
Isn't
traveling
it like
show.
nighttime for you?
Yeah, it is. It's 8:12 p.m. on a Friday, so I'm gonna go watch shows, and then I'm gonna work 9 hours tomorrow. In fact, I worked like 6 hours today, but 9 hours tomorrow on a Saturday because someone else didn't want their shift, so we're taking all the shifts. Oh, and also before I forget to update with the channel, so on the other channel, character stills and all that are all finally done. So I'm super excited about that. They turned out really well. We'll probably add a few to that.
Him look liberal.
Yeah, we'll probably add a few to that list. But I'm super happy with it, and it's done. So yeah,
this is the long pause. It's a long pause.
Long pause. Double meaning.
Yeah,
if you ask a furry, double meaning. Okay, yeah.
So. Okay.
Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, night, evening, morning, whatever time it is. And I suppose I'll see you in the next Sad Reality. Maybe Wyatt will be there 20 episodes from now, 30 episodes, 1 episode if I take a month to record it. Who knows?
Okay.
You want to say bye?
Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Adios, amigos, and in a while, crocodile or something.
Bye-bye.